Hey everyone, now we have the 1955 movie Underwater, starring James Russell, Gilbert Roland, Laurie Nelson, and Richard Egan. Now, while diving in the Caribbean, Dominic Quesada, Gilbert Roland, and Johnny Grant, Richard Egan, come across a sunken ship with various artifacts. They are excited when they'd come up, but they quickly run into shark hunter Rico Herrera, Joseph Calleja, who grills them about what they were doing. Now they lie, telling him they were studying rocks. They suspect he doesn't believe them, but he lets them go their own way just the same. Now Dominic and Johnny return to port in Cuba, where they go to tell Johnny's wife, Teresa, Jane Russell, about their discovery. Now Teresa is reluctant to sell their boat to fund an expedition, but after she and Johnny are able to talk it out alone, they decide to go in on the expedition. Now, while they are discussing it, Dominic goes out looking for someone else who might be interested and finds Laurie Nelson, a secretary whose millionaire boss has left town while owing money to a lot of people. Now, he had left her a yacht, and so Dominic convinces her to let him use the boat for the expedition. They are all joined by Father Cannon, Robert Keith, who believes they found one of the wrecks of a convoy that had fled Panama many years before with a lot of treasure, including a statue of the Madonna. Now, after searching the area, they are able to locate the ship with the treasure on it. They run into Rico again, who is still suspicious, but he lets them keep going. However, trouble comes as Dominic falls ill while diving. The sunken ship, and some of the ground holding it, starts falling apart when they use dynamite to open a door. Rico is sticking around, and Johnny starts getting a little too much gold fever, much to Teresa's dismay. But can they get through all these problems and bring up the treasure? Now, Underwater, although directed by John Sturges, who is probably best known as the director of The Great Escape, amongst other famous films, was as much a project for Howard Hughes, the owner of RKO Studios at the time. He used the movie not only to highlight his star Jane Russell, much as he'd been doing since he introduced her to the world in The Outlaw, but he also used it to highlight the then new invention of scuba gear. The crew tried to film some stuff near Hawaii, but the footage didn't come out great, so they came back to RKO Studios, where they finished it in a big underwater tank on the sound stages. Of course, the movie is probably just as well known for the big publicity stunt for its premiere, where they provide the people with the scuba gear and such to actually watch the movie underwater. Now, going into this movie, I will admit I hadn't exactly been hearing great things about it, so I was quite hesitant. After watching it, I find that my worries were unfounded. Sure, it's far from the greatest movie ever made, but I had fun watching it. I will admit, in some ways, it reminded me very much of the classic The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, except it's underwater, obviously. We have treasure to be found, potential bandits waiting to take it away, trouble trying to get the treasure out, one member of the group essentially getting gold fever and threatening those that get in its way, etc., etc. Obviously, it's nowhere near as good as that classic, and certainly the slow pacing, no doubt the result of trying to show off all the wonderful underwater photography, might turn a few people off. But in spite of the fact that I'm not a diver myself, far from it, I was very fascinated with all the underwater footage, which made the movie entertaining enough for me. I certainly don't suggest going in expecting a big classic or a great movie in any shape, but it's certainly enough fun that I do recommend it. This movie is available on Blu-ray from Warner Archive Collection. Warner Archive has been able to do a 4K scan here of the original camera negative, and oh, what a picture. The underwater photography looks amazing here in high def. And of course, the above-water footage looks even better. And I enjoy seeing a fun movie that hasn't seen a release on DVD yet, being given such wonderful treatment on home video. Certainly a recommended release for this Blu-ray. Now, the movie is 1 hour and 39 minutes in length. Now, I know that I am posting this on April 1st, or at least debuting it, I should say, but mark my words, I'm not joking here with my opinions that this is how I really feel about the movie. Anyhow, that's all I have to say on this one, everybody. So thanks for listening, and I hope you'll keep coming back for more.